Hi everyone, this is Lana from Lana Under Pressure, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a deliciously sweet raspberry syrup called Raspberry Cordial. Now, I'm going to show you how to make a British style cordial, which really is just a concentrated sweet fruit syrup. And you can use it to flavor vodka, any kind of liqueurs. You can use it to flavor seltzer water or lemonade, but you really can use it in all kinds of ways. And it's really delicious, easy to make, and very economical. So first I'm going to show you how to set up your Instant Pot, because there's not a lot of ingredients in this, but the setup is what's important. So what you're going to need is you're going to need your trivet, which comes with your Instant Pot. You're also going to need some type of container. Now I like to use my Flanera. This is really perfect, not for just making flans, but for this as well. And I'll put a description so that you can get one, but you can use any sort of cake pan, something with a little bit of a higher side that you can use in your Instant Pot. You're also going to need a steamer. Now this is one of those metal steamers. I got this like at the dollar store, but you're just going to need a metal steamer, or you can use the silicone ones, but something that'll be able to fit inside your pan and a little higher up. So these have feet on it, so that's going to sit above the pan just a little bit. So to set up your Instant Pot, you're going to go ahead and take off the lid, and there's something that I want to show you, and I've shown this in a couple of my videos. But if you notice, I have a black liner on this one. So whenever you're making anything that's sweet, cake or something like that, where you don't want the flavors of whatever you cooked before, like I cook with a lot of garlic, and you don't want your cordial smelling or tasting like garlic. So I get a lot of these different liners, and I buy them on Amazon, and I'll have a link for you to get one, and I just change them out. And my black one is the one that I use for desserts, and then I use the clear ones for other cooking things. So that's really helpful. So to set up your Instant Pot, you're gonna go ahead and put your trivet down in your Instant Pot. And then you're gonna take 1 cup of water, because you always need some sort of liquid when cooking with the Instant Pot, and just pour that right in. Okay. And now you're going to place your container, and this is my Flanera. I'm going to place it right on top of the trivet, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the steamer and place that inside the trivet. Perfect. Now, once you've set up your pot, you're ready to add your ingredients. And again, there's only 2 ingredients. That's what makes this so economical. You're going to use 24 ounces of frozen raspberries. And I would use a better quality frozen raspberry. Like I wouldn't use, something like the cheapest. You don't have to use the very expensive, but something that's a good quality. And you're going to use some sugar, and it's 1.5 cups of sugar. Now, if you want to make it a little sweeter, I'll show you how to do that. But I like to use about 1.5 cups.
So we're going to add the first half of our 24 ounces, which is 12 ounces the raspberries, or just 1 package. And you want to add these on the bottom in kind of like a straight layer. So just add them, slowly, add all of that package. And then I like to take a spoon and flatten them out. Now you want to make sure that your raspberries or whatever berries you're using are a little bit thawed. So what I like to do at the very beginning is just leave them out on the counter while I'm setting everything up. And I use a spoon to flatten that out. Now we're going to add the sugar, and that's 1 cup of sugar. And so you're going to take your 1 cup of sugar, like that, and you're going to go ahead and pour it slowly over the raspberries. And it's okay if the sugar falls down into the pan, because as it cooks, it will dissolve. And again, if all of it doesn't dissolve, you're just going to dissolve it later, which I'll show you. Now, once you've done that, you're going to take your second package, or your second 12 ounces, and you're going to pour those raspberries right on top of the first layer. And now when you're doing this, you want to do it slowly, because you want to kind of mound this layer up so that it's higher in the middle. And that way they don't fall over to the edge and off. So you can just use your hands to do that. And it will cook down, so you don't have to worry if it's like a high mound of raspberries. And you just use your hand to do that.
Now, once you've placed your raspberries and sugar inside the steamer, you're going to go ahead and put the lid on. You're going to turn the valve to seal, and then you're going to cook it for 18 minutes on high pressure, and then let it natural pressure release for 20 minutes. So now that our Instant Pot and our raspberries are done cooking, we're actually going to leave it alone for 20 minutes. Now, that's called a natural pressure release, where you let the pressure release on its own. The pressure will release a lot earlier than 20 minutes, but the reason that I leave it in there for 20 minutes is because I found that that extra time allows the juices in the syrup to continue to drip down into the pan underneath. And so that really helps so that you don't have to strain it as much. So now after 20 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and take it out. Now, if all of your pressure hasn't released after 20 minutes, that's okay. You can just turn the knob and manually release it. But ours has, so we're just gonna go ahead and open the pot. And now it may be still a little hot, so you can use your little gloves that came with the Instant Pot. And you're gonna remove the trivet and everything all together. Perfect. Now, I like to take a spatula and gently press down on the raspberries, and you'll see that the raspberries have really cooked down a lot. You don't want to press too much because you don't want any solids to go into the bottom, but just a little bit. Okay, and now we're done with the raspberry solids, so we're going to remove that. And what we're left with in the pot or in the pan is just the complete, only liquid. There's no water or anything, just the liquid from the raspberries and the sugar. So now we're almost done. But since this is such a concentrated syrup, we need to add a little bit more sugar. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to empty out, I've emptied out all of the water that was in there and cleaned out the liner. And we're going to add this liquid back into the pot, and we're going to add half a cup of sugar and go ahead and saute and reduce it and dissolve the sugar just a little bit more on the saute mode. So we're going to go ahead and put our Instant Pot to saute mode. And then we're going to add our liquid that we have at the bottom of the pan into the Instant Pot. Now, if there's a little bit of sugar that's left on the bottom, sometimes there is, you can just scrape that up and add that back to the pot. Once this comes to a boil on the saute mode, we're going to add a half a cup of sugar, and we're going to stir with our spatula until it's dissolved.
So now we're going to add the rest of our sugar now that it's at a good boil. And I'm going to add a half a cup. You can add more if you want to make it sweeter. And you're going to pour that in, and then you're going to take your spatula and you're going to stir it, and you're going to let it cook for about 4 to 5 minutes. It doesn't take long. And you know when it's all dissolved, when you can scrape the spatula and there's no granules at the bottom.
So now that I've done sauteing and all of the sugar is dissolved, and that should just take 1 or 2 minutes because, again, I added most of the sugar in the beginning, I go ahead and I'll pour it, the warm liquid, into a measuring cup. And every time I've done it, it makes about 2 cups. And you're going to cover this and put this in the fridge to cool so that you can transfer it to the small bottles. So now that our cordial has cooled, you can do a few things with it. So I like to put it, if I'm just making it for myself, I like to put it in mason jars, and it'll keep for about 3-4 months in the refrigerator. Another idea, and why I love this, is it makes really great gifts. And so you can find, I found this little heart jar at Michael's for about $1 with a coupon. And so you can add the cordial into these little jars, and you can give them as gifts, or you can make a liqueur with it. And the way you do this is, I found this bottle also at Michael's, and it holds about 1.5 cups. So you can go ahead and add about 1.5 cups of vodka. And now I don't drink vodka, so I just bought this one from the store because it had a pretty bottle. But my husband, who's the taste tester, told me it's not so great. So I don't recommend this one. So if you're going to be giving it as gifts, definitely buy a better quality vodka, not one that just has a pretty bottle, right? So once you've added that to your bottle, then since this is 1.5 cups of vodka, you're going to add about 6 to 8 tablespoons of the cordial. And once you've added that, you can go ahead and put a topper on it. And then you can tie a ribbon or, put a little, make it look pretty. And you let this sit, and you can give this as gifts, and now you have a little raspberry liqueur. So there you have it. Quick, easy, delicious raspberry cordial in your Instant Pot. As usual, my recipe will be down in the description below. And if you like my video, I hope you subscribe.